racetrack. The trophy and a big check and an additional $100,000 on the line the next 4 weekends. We're going to qualify 4 drivers here tomorrow. Top 4 series regulars in the race at Texas will be going for an extra $100,000 next Saturday afternoon on the high banks in Bristol, Tennessee.
And you mentioned season regulars. What that means is these next 4 races, the Dash for Cash races, if you receive anything other than Xfinity Series points, for example, if you receive Cup points as a driver, you cannot participate in those 4 Dash for Cash races.
Regan, did you ever get a $100,000 bonus?
Well, I got a couple of those bonuses, and they were really nice to have as well. Hey, speaking of guys that could be eligible for that, Christopher Bell is one of those guys. We saw him on track a little while ago. He had a big moment, got very sideways enough that he wanted them to check the tires and make sure that they were okay. Normally that wouldn't be significant, but here it is a little bit significant because they're not one of the teams that planned on scuffing tires. They were going to run the same set of tires. Right next door to him, the 21 car of Daniel Hemrick, they're a team that has been scuffing every set that they have. It was 50-50 throughout this garage area when you talk to different crew chiefs who wanted to scuff, who didn't want to scuff. Larry, what does it mean to scuff the tires? Why do they want to do that on these 1.5 miles that are repaved?
Yeah, it kind of cures the tire, Regan, and a lot of times when you have as much grip as this surface has, once you've cured it a little bit, it'll actually make the tire grip just a little bit. The other good thing about scuffing a set of tires, it tells you if that set of tires maybe has a vibration, if they're out of balance a little bit. That's another kind of hidden advantage to scuffing tires.
And as a crew chief, Larry, where were you at trying to figure that out? As we watch what happens as Bell, I talked about the bad angle in the corner. He whizzed her in there, and the corner was just simply too sharp, and the car wouldn't hang. His concern was that maybe he slid that right rear tire enough to hurt it, and that's what he wanted his team to check. But as a crew chief, I mean, was it a gamble to not scuff them? Was it a safety play to scuff tires?
You know, we just don't really hear of tires blistering anymore. That's one reason for a number of years, Michael, throughout your driving career, my career as a crew chief, that you would get too much temperature in the tire if you put it on as a sticker and tried to run it. So that was one reason, but we just don't hear that happening. And if that was even a possibility, I promise you the Goodyear engineers would be roaming the garage area saying, hey, you might want to think about scuffing these tires.
Look at Ryan Reed in the 16 trying to get back inside the top 10. Has not been there since week 2 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, currently 12th on the board.
That's nice to open up with that kind of speed, isn't it? You know, to be up near the top 10, adjustment or 2 away, you feel like you're right where you need to be.
This is a little puzzling to me. Jamie McMurray driving the 42, and they've been great on the 1.5 miles really in recent history, but in particular this year. Kyle Larson, of course, laid it on him at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, leading over 100 laps. And John Hunter Nemechek behind the wheel in his debut at Atlanta, despite a host of problems, was able to rally and finish in the top 5. So with a veteran, you would expect McMurray to be right at the top 11th so far. What do you read into that, Michael?
You know, it just looks nervous. Every time I look up and see the car, it's dancing around. I think it's just loose for Jamie, and maybe, you know, that's the difference between the driving style of Kyle Larson or even John Hunter and Jamie. There's just something in the car that it's set up in a way that he doesn't particularly like. I'll watch for this team to make serious progress, though, through these couple of practices. Jamie's a veteran. He knows what he's looking for. He'll get it tuned up. But right now, it just looks like the back end's out from underneath of him.
Yeah, this is his second time out. He ran 6 laps the first time. He just completed lap 2. Fast lap 29.30. That was a 29.55.
This team has one here with Larson 2 years ago. Top of the board in practice is Matt Tift.